There always used to be those hospital dramas where somebody would say to the sister on the ward, how did the patient sleep? How you sleep is a great indicator of how healthy you are physically and mentally.
Sleep is absolutely vital for the body and the mind. It's a chance in which the brain and body repairs.
I wanted to record the effects of sleep deprivation, but first we needed a couple of experts, 3 of my idiot mates with little concern for their own well-being, and 1 large jar of Nescafe. Yep, I could just smell a documentary. Sleep deprivation is an incredibly common ailment in modern society. The coffee culture of today pays testament to this. Those of you that assume we can simply get by on minimal sleep are sadly mistaken. You may just want to pay more attention to this. In order to conduct this demonstration, I needed to enlist the help of a medical professional.
2 days of sleep deprivation, so 48 hours, you would start to notice and observe some of the behavioural and physical aspects.
Our guinea pigs got together at our top secret sleep laboratory, disguised as a terrace house.
Heyo!
So let's meet our participants.
I know that when I get tired, I do get less talkative, but then once I get through the tired phase, you know, once you break through, get back on it, and I should be alright.
After 24 hours, if I'm being a negative Norman. Can't imagine what it's going to do to my psyche.
I'm quite an angry person when I don't get any sleep, which will be, you know, quite interesting to see.
Everyone had made themselves at home, which is good since, for a while, this room will be their living quarters.
Still early on in this whole thing, and standard day, not feeling tired yet or anything.
I don't usually sit in a room full of cameras, trying to stay awake. It's not going great. Not really enjoying myself, to be honest. What's the skin on a bongo made from?
A whale's
vagina.
placenta. Similar.
Already feeling strangely quite tired.
People tend to think that they're going to feel tired knowing they're not going to sleep. The fear of not sleeping in itself creates an anxiety.
By depriving our participants of sleep, we were attempting to replicate the symptoms of insomnia, a condition that can only truly be understood by those affected. We met mum of 3 Liz, who has suffered with insomnia since childhood.
I've even been known to go out with a torch into the garden with a pair of scissors and a crate and actually cut grass for the guinea pigs at 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning because I've got literally nothing else to do. I used to suffer quite badly with sort of anxiety and panic attacks. I try reading a book and I can't do that. I try watching a film, I just can't concentrate on it. It then just blurs into background noise and quite often I just sort of sit there and disappear almost. It's just become part of my everyday life. I've had to get used to it, I've had to cope with it. I've gone through school with it, I've gone through college with it, I've been in work with it, I've had children with it. My middle son, who's 5, also has it. It's hard because I'm now seeing what my mum's seen.
Generally, I think the coping with insomnia is a very, very difficult issue. If you can imagine somebody ringing up their boss on a Monday morning and saying, I've got a really bad migraine, generally most employers would be actually quite nice about it. You try ringing somebody up and saying, I couldn't sleep last night, and you will get very, very little sympathy.
Sleep deprivation tends to be more apparent in older adults. However, research suggests that during puberty, when there's a change in hormones, coupled with lifestyle changes and stresses such as exams and growing up, there is a higher rate of teenagers now presenting with sleep deprivation.
all of them were utterly dependent, it looked to me, on actually either caffeine or food. And I've never seen people so enthusiastically in a kitchen cooking up some grub at God knows what the hour was. But I think you do actually need food to give you something to do, but also to fuel you up, to replenish your glucose levels. And I think that's why people who have sleep problems very often eat at strange times of the day or night.
Looking outside that window, it's horrible. Just want some sunlight.
Went through a period of severe yawns continuously.
And welcome to the first annual Insomnia Games.
Forcing myself to try and stay awake, some tears came.
I've had 3 coffees. Starting to feel quite tired now, and having to do things to sort of refresh my mind.
I think once you get to around about midnight, 2 o'clock in the morning, this is when a lot of our body systems tend to sort of naturally say, I need to sleep now.
I was actually making a cup of tea a couple of years ago, and I was pouring the water and I had hold of the cup, and for some reason my mind just went and my hand drifted and I actually scalded all my hand. I ended up with quite a lot of scarring on my hand. Sometimes when you just can't sleep, it's so frustrating, and in the end you just want to scream at somebody. It gets to the point sometimes where you just don't want to carry on anymore.
You may well find a lot of association between mental health, depression problems and stuff, because people are not able to sort of file away their experiences and to concentrate.
There's a link between anxiety and depression and sleep deprivation and other mental health problems such as schizophrenia and bipolar.
While Jamie was at university, Bez and Sam decided to refresh themselves with a walk to the park.
What, 27 hours now?
Yeah.
And everyone else is, oh yeah, I've been asleep, I'm getting up and I'm going about my day.
Everyone's going on that new day. It's just a strange feeling altogether.
Yeah.
I don't know whether I feel a bit ill.
I feel slightly empty.
Yeah. Void.
Yeah. Void is a good word right now. Void is an excellent word.
Restorative sleep is that which restores you for the next day, and it's absolutely vital for you to feel well. And I think they were just beginning to get into a slightly toxic feel, and that sort of nausea feeling, that void feeling and things that they described were very, very clear, and generally feeling unwell. And I thought that was really interesting, because they were certainly starting to become very much more aware of their body systems. They were aware of their heart rate being up. They were aware of just not feeling well. So in effect, they were actually diagnosing their own sleep deprivation.
So we've just got back from quite an exhilarating walk, which has chirped me up a bit, but I'm now feeling tingling through my body.
I feel kind of let down almost, because in my head I imagined I wouldn't be as feeling as bad as I am at 30 odd hours.
I'm still tired and confused.
Short-term side effects of sleep deprivation include things like irritability, feelings of fatigue, low energy, difficulty in concentration.
It's just how quick my brain's working. It's not working quick at all. Like when people want to talk to me, I'll sit there for 5 minutes without noticing that they're actually talking to me.
We see increase in feelings of anxiety, headaches, and increased pain perception.
And it feels like someone is stabbing me in the stomach, which is kind of uncomfortable.
A lot of people think that insomnia is a temporary thing, and for a lot of people it's not. It's you have to learn to live with it. Dealing with it is very difficult, especially when you're quite young. Try and explain to people, oh well, I sit awake all night, you probably think you're a bit nutty, but I don't think they quite understand the life implications.
She'd organised a night out downtown, and we went downtown, and that was it basically. Had a few drinks.
More than a few.
Just did touch on it a little bit, mainly because as I was trying to go to bed, she was texting me and messaging me, and I kept going good night, and an hour later I'd still be trying to go to sleep.
I don't think I would be able to cope if I didn't have other people there to support me. And I can say for sure, I don't think I would still be here.
15% of people will have a problem with their sleep. It's a very, very big percentage of, a population of some 6 million. So doctors need to learn more about how to manage it. Awareness amongst practitioners, amongst general practitioners, GPs, family practices and doctors is really, really low.
It's weird, it's like a constant daydream. Just eyes are feeling incredibly heavy.
Your eyes are directly related to A, your health, B, also your state of hydration. And if all these lovely gentlemen were drinking lots of coffee to keep them awake, they were effectively becoming dehydrated. And I think that those changes in eyeball health and tiredness to the eyes was a very interesting one.
When my eyes are tired and I've got a headache and stuff, and if I sit and watch, watch TV, whatever, it's just gonna fucking brainwash me.
Interesting, actually, that with sleep deprivation, he actually spoke in longer sentences. He started off saying almost nothing, and then was actually speaking really articulate without sleep.
I had to become visually impaired and had to go down to opticians and get some glasses since last time we saw me.
Jamie's comment that he's a very angry chap.
I'm quite an angry person when I don't get any sleep.
I found throughout the film that actually he became much quieter.
Can't say much, do you? No.
It does really prove that people are affected in different ways.
After almost 2 days, it appeared that the participants were finding it increasingly difficult to resist sleep.
I am the official first casualty. I've got full shakes going throughout my body. I've got shivers, like I feel cold when it's actually probably quite warm in this house.
And I've experienced this myself when I've done night duty. I know when I'm tired because my body is cold and my head is hot. It's a really weird sort of thing.
The body completely telling me just to go to sleep. Just go straight to sleep. 48 hours without sleep now. Pretty tired. Yeah, bed would be nice.
I've really had enough. Can't take it anymore. Caffeine has ruined my mind and I just need to sleep. Sorry, I don't have much more to say, but I am absolutely drained to the point where I just can't even think of it. So, bye.
Sleep is no longer prioritised in modern society.
And it's given me a greater appreciation of why your body needs sleep. I mean, I know everyone knows your body needs sleep, but like what actually happens when you haven't slept for a long period of time, you do just start to shut down.
I've got a bit of a strange memory of the whole thing, really. I think it could be seriously detrimental to your health. It starts, seriously taking its toll not only on your mind but on your body as well.
Completely mentally incapacitated. I'm glad it's over.
The value of sleep is highly misunderstood, and as our concerns for a good night's sleep diminish, our bodies and minds continue to take the abuse of our overactive lifestyles.
People charging into their local coffee shop, etc., and charging an X amount of caffeine every day, they are actually keeping themselves awake. And then surprisingly, they're not sleeping well at night. And people are actually quite proud about saying, I only had 2 hours sleep last night. It makes you sound well butch, but the problem is you are storing up all of those health problems.
Surely, the sooner sleep is considered pivotal to our well-being, the better.